Hello everyone and welcome back to another Korean movie review by EonTalk. I'm your host Ian, and today's video movie review will be on the new Korean adventure action film, The Pirates: The Last Royal Treasure. This movie originally had the unofficial title of The Pirates 2, as there was another Pirates movie from Lotte Entertainment titled The Pirates that released in 2014. But upon watching the film, I understand why they decided to give it its own name and not be The Pirates 2. The movie isn't a follow-up story of the first film, nor does it make references to it, and thus, of course, the right way to approach the film would be to give it its own identity. The two films are more so taking place within the same universe, but other than that, two very different films. Different directors, different cast, different story, and ultimately, two very different movies. The Pirates: The Last Royal Treasure was directed by Kim Jong-un, who also directed The Accidental Detective, and starred Kang, Han Yo-ju, Lee Kwang-soo, Kwon Sang-woo, Chae Soo-bin, Seun of EXO, Kim Sung-ho, and Park Ji-wan. A pretty dang solid lineup if you ask me, and the casting was one of the big reasons why I was looking forward to the film. The movie is an adventure action film, but comedy plays a huge role in the movie. It makes sense to even categorize this as a comedy with how much humor the film had. But before getting too deep into the review, let's first take a look at the detailed synopsis of The Pirates: The Last Royal Treasure. Destiny brings the self-proclaimed Goryeo head, Buchi, and Haerang, the captain of a pirate ship, together on their windless voyage across mountains, seas, and land. Then one day, they learn of royal treasure that disappeared without a trace, and that it's hidden somewhere in the seas. Thus, they begin their dangerous adventure in search of the massive treasure. However, they aren't the only ones looking for the missing loot. Soo, who does anything and everything he needs to get his way, also jumps into the sea to claim the treasure. Who will be the first to find and become the owner of the missing treasure? Before getting deeper into the review, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to ExpressVPN. If you're looking to access more Korean movies but don't know where to find them, I highly suggest using ExpressVPN and accessing more Korean content. By using ExpressVPN, you can bypass geo restrictions, meaning you can be from anywhere around the world and access the Korean servers. If you'd like to access more Korean content, be sure to sign up for ExpressVPN using my link in the descriptions or expressvpn.com/EonTalk and get 49% off an annual plan, plus 3 extra months for free. Better yet, if you sign up and don't like the service, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, meaning you can cancel anytime within the first 30 days. Okay, getting back to the review, I'd just like to say that I'll be giving my thoughts and opinions of the movie from here on out. Therefore, there may be minor spoilers or parts about the movie that you may not want to hear before watching yourself. I'm going to keep spoilers to a minimum, but please be aware of this. That being said, let's get right into what I found to be the good parts about The Pirates: The Last Royal Treasure. As mentioned before, the movie has numerous funny moments, and this is due to the great casting it had. There were lots of funny parts, and I found that it's mainly due to the facial expressions of the actors that made it so funny. Also, realism is unseen in this. Sure, this can be a bad thing, which I'll get to later, but that's in the sense of story. A lot of the unrealistic elements is where the humor derived from. I guess this will come down to personal preference. Are you willing to sacrifice some of the story over humor? There were a lot more comedic parts than the first Pirates movie. Long story short, it's a great light watch, but if you want more than that, you may be disappointed. And who better to have for light comedic roles than Lee Kwang-soo? The way Lee Kwang-soo is able to make people laugh by just appearing on screen is remarkable. He's a great comedic entertainer/actor, and his traitor role continues in this, like his betrayer character in Running Man. Lee Kwang-soo has a way of making movies into comedic films, much like how Tacha 1 wasn't really a comedic movie, but with Tacha 3 starring Lee Kwang-soo, it was a much more comedic one. This is neither a good or bad, so I'll just say it here. We've seen what EXO's Dio and Chanyeol could do in movie roles, and fellow groupmate Seun was in this movie. However, he had a very minimal role and hardly any lines. Thus, it's hard to judge his acting with this, so hopefully we see him with a bigger role soon. Moreover, Kang and Han Yo-ju were also great as always. Their on-screen chemistry was wonderful, and Kang was near unrecognizable in his character. That's a good thing, as it shows how he can change characters with each role he's in. But yeah, once again, Lee Kwang-soo just stole the show with this. In addition, the CGI and special effects were surprisingly really good. This was like the Pirates of the Caribbean Korean version, and the effects were up there with that big title and actually genuinely surprised me. Usually we see cheesy effects and CGIs in lighter films, but this actually brought its A-game. Okay, let's now take a look at what I found to be the bad parts about the film. First, the comedy could be a little childish and over the board for some. This also comes down to personal preference, but I personally found it to be a good, light watch. Nonetheless, the person that I was watching with didn't like the comedic approach it had. Also, as mentioned in the good parts, realism in the sense of story was quite forced. The ending especially was really cheesy, even for me, and it was too unrealistic and forced. Of course, this is a mainstream movie overall, and you kind of need to expect it to conclude in a certain way. But I guess I was just expecting something a little more and a surprise that didn't come. Furthermore, the film had historical context and background, especially in the beginning when introducing the story, so if you don't know about the history, it may be a little confusing. It's not a total deal breaker, but would definitely be easier to understand and comprehend with the background. And finally, to nitpick, the movie was on the longer side for a light movie, in my opinion. The Pirates: The Last Royal Treasure was a fun, light, entertaining adventure. Go into it with a light heart. It had good action, comedy, adventure, acting, and visual effects, but once again, I'll emphasize that it's a good, light film. If you're looking for anything more than that, you may be disappointed. I'll give The Pirates: The Last Royal Treasure a ticket price value of $11. And that concludes today's review on The Pirates: The Last Royal Treasure. Thank you to everyone that watched till the end, and I hope this review has given you some insight into the film. If you've seen or are planning to watch the movie, I'd love to hear your thoughts about the film, so please leave a comment or join the EonTalk Telegram group and we can discuss over there. If you'd like to access more Korean content, be sure to sign up for ExpressVPN using my link in the descriptions to get 49% off an annual plan. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and would like more video movie reviews. Once again, thank you to everyone that watched till the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
해길도 이수수께끼를 불어야 보물을 찾을 수 있다는 뜻이지. 사라진 보물. 찾는 자가 주인이다. 시원하고 통쾌하게 터진다. 해적 도깨비 깃발.
범비, 나 해적왕 됐어.